I'm a little surprised you guys really thought I was going to buy an Inspire. You know, for that kind of money, I could get 2 hot hookers in Tijuana and a donkey. What? Like you never thought about 2 chicks and a donkey? Well, we did it. This is the old shell. I got a new, finally, it only took 14 years to get a Shearshin CX20 shell, but I got one. And I'll go over the installation in a minute. You can see I have it pretty much done right there. Yeah, but wouldn't you know it? See that? This is one of the, this is one of the self-tightening propellers that I had put on here that I was trying, that this little finger vampire tried to eat me with. So I had to unsolder these because it's got to go into this. And luckily, I happen to have the same exact motors. These used to be on Red 1, and obviously they're way, way too insufficient for Red 1. So I threw them in a box thinking, I'm never going to use these again. For the top magnetometer, this was loose inside, and it's something you want to check when you get a CX20. Just pop that top off and see if it's still loose. For the magnetometer, I took a little bit of moon gel because it's sticky and it serves another purpose, keeps it nice and vibration free. So I put that in there to make sure the vibrations don't do anything to it. So we're going to go over how to take this out and put it in to the new shell. And the reason I'm doing that is because I found a lot of interesting little tidbits of information along the way. So without much further ado, let's go to the GoPro. So just a note on these little diffusers and the indicator lights. These were put in with hot glue when they originally built this, and you just kind of like wiggle them a little bit, they'll come right out. But what you've got to understand is that these diffusers are not connected to the lights. You can see here I'm starting to do the unscrewing of the ESCs. After I get done with the screwing of the ESCs, I take the screws that I took out of here and put them in place in the new body. There's a reason for that, because I want to make sure, you know, that I don't lose them. They're very easy screws to lose. If you look on the at this part of the video right here, you see I marked the arrows to make sure I knew which way the controller and the GPS were facing. Then we go next to the body, and the body was pretty easy to get off except for the part where the GPS was. For some reason the GPS was covering one of the screws, so I had to kind of pull that off, move it out of the way, get that screw out, and then put it back into its place again. But I did notice when I took this off of the old one, that magnetometer wire was not pushed in all the way. It was in probably about halfway. So remember that. You see underneath there's the connections for the USB port and the connections for retracts and the camera gimbal. Make sure you take a picture of that and remember what goes where. We have performed some Frankenstein maneuvers on this, and I think I'm kind of happy with it as long as I can get that stupid motor on there, and we'll take it out for a flight because this is the holiday weekend and we need to cause some mayhem. What we got 4th of July for? Independence mayhem. True to form, red-handed Jill, like a drunken pirate, doesn't know where to go. Cut you off on the rum, that's what I'm gonna do. I had someone else solder these in yesterday, and I looked at the way the old one was, and pretty sure I put this in the right way, but we will have to take a look and see, because like I said, someone else soldered it. Well, at least the lights still come on. Makes a good flashlight. Well, there's something you don't see every day. Looks like some parakeets at a prison break. Back at the park, figured out that apparently the wiring on red-handed Jill was wrong on the motor. It was spinning the same way as this one, which you're never going to take off like that. So, quick solder job, run home, run back. Now, let's watch it fly. I think red-handed Jill just tried to attack me. So a little disappointed red-handed Jill's not flying the way it used to. Very wobbly, very shaky. Now the motor I put in is the same equivalent motor, 2212 920 kV. And it has its moments. Every now and then it kind of flips back and forth. Right now it's GPS hold, not doing too bad. Maybe got a problem with that new motor. Maybe not spinning up as good. I had to do a quick repair on it for the direction, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But, you know, that's the fun in RC. That surprise factor. Red-handed Jill, flying very, very poorly for the most part. Obviously some synchronization problems. Maybe the motor isn't really exactly what it's expecting. I don't know about this one because there's really no graphic to look at. Prior to the time I tried to take off my fingers, it was flying pretty good. And then I changed propellers and it was flying pretty good. Well, no, I can't say that because that's when it almost took my hand off. So this isn't really a primary aircraft and I don't really care that much. Maybe someday I'll make some improvement on it. But it was always kind of like a play toy anyway. So happy 4th of July. Hope you have a nice one. If you fly a quad or you do something around fireworks, put a link in the description below. I want to see it. And remember, like, subscribe, and comments, because if I don't tell you to do that for some reason, no one does, or most of you don't. So, that said, Mighty Thor from somewhere in a beautiful hot park on July 4th in the great city of Tampa, Florida, sweating out the oldies and waiting for this GoPro to do something. See ya!